Hi, grade 12. Today's topic is Skills Development Act. This is a grade 12 topic, obviously, which is legislation. So, in this video, I'm going to make sure that after you done watching this video, you memorize what is Skills Development Act, and you're going to know that what is Skills Development Act, which is SDA, if I'm going to be making it short. So without wasting any time, let's begin. So in order to benefit from this video, to make things easier for yourself, just take down some paper and write down some notes, because there's no need for you to listen to me and you do not write down some notes. So just write down some notes down, because here I'm going to be teaching you according to my experience how I excel in this topic of business studies. So you're going to be memorizing. I'm going to be teaching you how to memorize this topic. The Skills Development Act. I'll definitely start with the definition first. The main aim of this act is to improve the skill levels of people who are already employed in the business, which is very straightforward. So the purpose of Skills Development Act. Purpose: develops the skills of people in South Africa in order to improve productivity, invest in education and training of workers, improve the chances of getting a job for previously disadvantaged people, encourages workers to participate in learning programs. So guys, the purpose of Skills Development Act is not something that you could stick that much and learn all of it. In fact, my advice to you is that do not even study it. You can study it once, but don't stick to it too much, because it doesn't really appear on the exam. It doesn't appear most of the time, but it's very straightforward. When they say purpose of Skills Development Act, we are talking about education and training workers. So just grasp to that one. Education and training of workers. As I've said, what you should stick for is the advantages and disadvantages. That's very important. Don't bother yourself about the purpose of Skills Development Act. Stick to the advantages and disadvantages. So as I'm telling you right now, that the purpose is education and training of workers. Education and training of workers. Write down here purpose of Skills Development Act, then write down education and training of workers and improving productivity. You can write down that way so that you can memorize. If you memorize this way, you can be able to just say, when they ask you on exam, purpose of skills of SDA, you can just write invest in education and training of workers, improve productivity. Done. So we are going to the ones that are important. The advantages of SDA, which is Skills Development Act. I'll just say SDA to make it shorter. Advantages: trains employees to improve productivity. You see, the productivity appears again. That's why I told you that it's important. It improves productivity. Write down: improves productivity, promotes self-employment and black entrepreneurship. Self-employment. It promotes self-employment and black entrepreneurship. It promotes self-employment. Increases return on investment in education and training. It appears again. Education and training, it appears again. That's why I say you should memorize it. Increases return on investment in education and training. So you can just write education and training. Businesses could become globally more competitive. This one you can actually memorize it also. It's competitive of businesses. You can just write that way. Businesses could become globally more competitive. So it's all about education and training and also improving productivity. Obviously, when more people are educated and more people are trained, it will increase productivity. So it's something that it gets along with each other. They both come to same conclusion, if I can put it that way. I don't know that English allows me to say that. But as I'm saying, that it's all about education, training, and increasing productivity and competitiveness of business. So are you done memorizing that? Education, training, productivity and competitive of businesses. After you've done that, after you're done memorizing those words, you can just say, when they ask you advantages of businesses or of SDA, by the way, you can remember productivity, training, and education. You can just say, be like, okay, invest in training and education, increases productivity, and you can say helps businesses to be more competitive, and also it also promotes self-employment and black entrepreneurship. So there's no need another thing I need to address, and I always address this one. I don't know why I always address this one. There's no need to say the words or memorize the sentences as they are. You'll definitely be wasting your time. Just memorize the keywords and you're gonna write that way. That's how I made it. That's how I got higher marks when I was in matric. I didn't waste my time be busy memorizing the sentences as they are. I memorized the keywords. So we're going to the disadvantages now. Disadvantages. Increases cost as the process requires a large amount of paperwork. Implementation of the SDA can be difficult to monitor and control. Skills programs may not always address training needs for employees. Skills development levy could be an extra burden to financial struggle businesses. It may be monitored and controlled by the government departments that do not have education and training as their key priorities. So let's stick to right now. Let's not focus on the notes right now. We all know that when you're training someone, there must be cost. They say, I'm going to be training you to bake my cakes. Obviously, if you can't bake, you'll be wasting my flour because you'll actually burn some of the cake. So that's a waste. That's a waste of flour. So each and every training will actually cost us some of the amount. So as you can see, increases cost as the processes requires large amount of paperwork. So paperwork also costs. So you can write down paperwork or you can underline paperwork. Implementation of SDA can be difficult to monitor or control. So underline difficult to monitor or control. Skills development levy could be extra burden to financial struggling businesses. So if the business, by the way, let me stick to one. If the business is struggling financially, it could be extra burden. Just remember that. It could be extra burden if the business is struggling financially. Skills programs. Right now, you know programs. You are in grade 12, you are older now. You know programs. Skills programs may not always address training needs. So it does not always address training needs. Just don't forget about employees. Just say, not always address training needs. Underline that one. Not always address training needs. So when we talk about disadvantages, we talk about the cost first of all. So the cost is about paperwork. Paperwork is also costs us, and the training of the employees also costs us. And sometimes it's difficult to monitor or to watch over all the employees whether they are doing the right thing. So it's difficult to monitor and control. Remember that one. And the other one is that many services providers that offer training services are not SAQA accredited. This one you won't remember, so don't even bother writing it down because it's very complicated. As I've told you before, that you should stick to the ones the ones that are easy. Don't try to memorize the ones that are hard. Stick to the ones that are easy. And the time and money spent on improving employees' skills is wasted if they leave the business. Here it is again. The time and money spent on improving employee skills is wasted if they leave the business. I train you and you leave me. So I wasted my money. So it's all about money, and it's all about monitoring, watching over employees. And yeah, when you talk about disadvantages, skills development, it may affect that way. So make sure you memorize that one, guys. Large amount of paperwork, difficult to monitor, not always address training needs, and it can be a burden if our business is struggling financially. And if you leave our business, obviously we've wasted our time and money, because we train you and you leave us. Discriminatory actions according to SDA: preventing employees from signing for learnership due to their age and position in the workplace. Unfair promotion of skills and development. Unfair promotion of skills and development. I give this one to the other, I don't give this one to the other one. Providing employment services for gain without being registered as an employer. Financing false information in any prescribed document. So this one, make sure, also this one you should memorize, but not that much. It doesn't really appear that much on exams. So let's go to the one, penalty for non-compliance, which is also the one that does not appear most of the time. Businesses that do not pay the skills development levy may not offer learnerships or claim grants from the SDA. A labor inspector could order the business to stop operating should the business be found guilty of illegal practices. So the business will get in trouble if they found guilty of illegal practices, and if they don't pay skills development levy, they won't be able to claim the grants from the SDA. Ways in which businesses can comply with SDA. This one is important. It's very important, guys. So memorize this one. This one is important. Employees who collect payee should register with SETA. Employees who collect payee should register with SETA. So write down, collect payee should register with SETA. I think this one you will memorize. It's very easy. 1% of an employee's payroll has to be paid over to SETA. So when you collect payee, you should register with SETA, and you should also pay 1% of your payroll. You can just say salary, they won't even see it, they will just mark it right. Businesses should register with SARS in the area in which is SARS. SARS is SARS in the area in which their business is classified in terms of the SETA. So register with SARS. Write that down. Register with SARS. Employees should submit a workplace skills plan and provide evidence that it was implemented. So businesses with more than 50 employees must appoint a skills development facilitator. So yeah, we will conclude by saying that businesses with more than 50 employees must appoint a skills development facilitator. 50 employees, appoint skills development facilitator. Write that down. And the one that's very straightforward is that employees who collect payee should register with SETAs. So you can write that down. Collect payee, register with SETA, and 1% of your, write it as I say. Employees collect payee should register with SETA, and 1% of their payroll should go to SETA. Should be paid over to SETA. And businesses should register with SARS in area in which their business is classified. So business should register with SARS in area which their business is classified. Employees should submit workplace skills plan and provide evidence that it was implemented. So employees should submit a workplace skills plan and provide evidence. You can write that down, but I will advise you to memorize this one, which says businesses with more than 50 employees must appoint a skills development facilitator. So if you have more than 50 employees, appoint a skills development facilitator. So it's very straightforward, this one. That's why I like it. And you can just memorize it. The other one is business should register with the relevant SETA. This one is very easy. You should start with it. In fact, just write businesses register with SETA. Done. 2 marks. Employees collect payee should register with SETA. Another 2 marks. Employees payroll, 1% of their payroll should go to SETA. Another 2 marks. So the other one, you can talk about 50 employees. Even if you write an error and say 50 employees must appoint a skills development facilitator, you will get it. The teacher sometimes can give you 2 marks if you are really lucky. They are not really that strict. The teachers are not really that strict, especially for business studies. It's not like accounting, so they can give you the 2 marks. So the role and function of SETA. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the role and function of SETA. Report to the Director General. Promote and establish leadership. So it establishes leadership. Report to the Director General. Collect levies and pays out grants as required. This one was straightforward. We said it in a previous one, which is ways in which businesses can comply with SDA. So it also collect levies and pays out grants. Provides accreditation for skills development facilitators. That one don't even bother memorizing. Register leadership agreements. So stick to the one. Register leadership agreements, pays out grants, and also collects levies and establishes leaderships. Director General, which is report to Director General. Funding of SETA, which this one does not really appear most of the time on exam. So donation and grants from the public, surplus funds from government institution, funds received by rendering their services. This one does not appear, so I won't stick to it. So the one national skills development strategy and human resource development strategy is for another day, actually. So I will stick to the other ones on another day. I've already done the topic about Labor Relations Act. So you can check it out on my channel or on the description. I'll leave it out on the description. I've done it a long time ago. I think it was 1 year or 2 years ago. So guys, as I've said, the most important one is ways in which businesses can comply with SDA, and also the advantages and disadvantages of the SDA. So guys, as I've said here, don't forget to subscribe and like the video and share the video so that other learners would get the same information. Subscribe, because here you get quality content on business studies. So subscribe, like the video, share the video. Peace.